Hey guys, what's up? It's MEKK-KNIGHTS here with my Invoke Mech Knight going first shenanigans. I've been working on this deck list for a couple days now, and I think it's pretty solid. This is going to be post-Etko, and overall I think going first options for Invoke opened up pretty great, pretty immensely right now. And on top of that, the plays you can make are actually really nice, and more or less very consistent. The reason I say more or less is because this build is primarily to go first, but you're forcing to go first, which is why you have the trap cards. If you're going second, which you probably will if you lose a die roll, you're going to do perfectly fine. The deck does not really lose to going second either, because your trap cards are always there to supplement your Mech Knight engine by placing them and then activating the Mech Knights. And overall, let's quickly just run through the deck list. We have 3 Alistairs, again, bread and butter. We have 2 Ash. The reason why I went for 2-2-2 is because I don't want to draw 2 Ashes in one turn, or 2 DD Crows, even though DD Crows not once per turn, or more than 2 Ogres. So I think this is fine. It gives me some variety in my hands, and if I get all 3 of them, awesome. I'm playing 2 blue because I don't think 3 is really needed, so 2 is perfectly fine. 1 indigo to move things around, 3 purple because obviously he's the best one out of all of them. And then we have 1 yellow star. So I put yellow star in as a name. You can substitute this for red, or you can actually add another red if you'd like to add again more names. The whole point of this deck is the combo is basically Alistair resolving to get invocation in hand and a Mech Knight. So those 2 cards alone equal the whole board I'm about to show you guys. We're playing the new card Parallel Exceed, a fantastic card. So normal summon Alistair, make Almirage, Parallel will trigger in hand, reveal it, special summon it, his effect triggers, special summon another Parallel from your deck. I'm still debating if I want to play 2 or 3. I think 3 for now is fine. We can easily cut it down to 2. It's not going to change too much. 2 Call by the Graves. Usually if I'm going first deck, I want to play 3, but there's just not a lot of room. So I just became the king of 2-0s in this deck. 2 Cosmic Cyclones. I need back row disruption no matter what I do in any deck. So I needed the 2 Cosmics. You can replace this with MST if you'd like, or Twin Twister, which I don't really recommend. So I think Cosmic is actually the best back row removal in this deck right now. This can also be Lightning Storms if you feel like you want to main that. But again, since you're going first primarily, you can set this and then activate on your opponent's turn. That's the goal. 3 Invocation. Hard drawing Alistair Invocation in any of the Mech Knights is the best thing you can get. So personally, that's maxed out. 3 Meltdown, again, you need Alistair. This deck really functions by having Alistair in your hand. 2 Desires, necessary evil. 1 Terraforming, again, you want to get Alistair out. For the traps, 2 Compulse. I think this is very underrated, still a really good card. Just a target to bounce. It's simple and it's good. 2 Impermanence, again, I was iffy if I wanted to play 2 or 3. Again, I decided for 2 for more variety. And again, you can cut out the Parallel C if you really want to play 3 of these, or an Invocation if you really want to, but I don't recommend that. 2 Solemn Strikes. I kind of wanted to make sure that the meta right now is Eldritch being used on the field, the monster himself, or the Emancipators. You want to make sure you stop a lot of their plays, and this is the best way to do it. So if they summon Needle Fiber out, Solemn, he goes away, their plays usually get cut in half. And then there can only be 1 because, again, Emancipators are still strong, Salad is still really strong, just decks that are monotype. For the extra, we're playing the new Invoked Agudidis? I don't know how to pronounce them. The Fusion, as of what I'm going to call him. Really good card, actually low-key broken. I didn't really think much of him when he came out. The fact that when he's summoned, you pop something, he's a level 8, which is going to go into Dingirusu later. And that if you just leave him on the field in attack or defense mode, when your opponent's special summons, activate this guy's effect, pop something on their board. It's good. It's actually really amazing. The only downside is you need a fusion, so you need to have established something ready, but you can use your opponent's fusion, so that's always good. 1 Caliga, again, I'm iffy if I want to keep him in or out. I don't feel like I make him enough, but again, you need it in case you need to stall for whatever reason. He's a level 4, which gives you some level 4 plays later on for rank 4s. So until I feel like I don't need him, he's there. 3 Makaba this time, so not 2. The reason I went for 3 is because you're going to be making and using 2 to all 3 of them in turn 1. It's not hard, it just depends on your hand and what you have in the situation. So 3 Makabas. 1 Purgatrio, as much as I want to play 2 of, the extra deck is really tight. You can easily cut out Dingirusu or number 60, or just number 60. and throw in a second Purgatrio if you want to, but I feel like in this build, you're not really looking to OTK turn 2, you're looking to establish a board turn 1, make sure they can't play turn 2, and then turn 3 when it's back to you, you can just kill them in that one shot. One Raijin, the only one you really have is Parallel Exceed. I'm iffy again on this one, this might be cut out for something else, this might stay in, it just depends on how things go, but right now, perfectly fine. He comes up now and then for Parallel Exceed. In case I open up Alistair, Parallel Exceed, and no MEKK-KNIGHTS, you can go into a Raijin play. So we're actually playing Exceeds and Invoke. Very rare situation. I don't really see that often, besides maybe Dingirisu or in Calamities. So we're playing Abyss Dweller. It's not hard to make. 2 Parallel Exceeds go into a Abyss Dweller because of his effect. When he's special summoned by his name, so including his hand effect and his field effect, he becomes a level 4 monster. So that way you can just make any XE4 or rank 4. We're playing Dingirisu because not only do we have the purple MEKK-KNIGHT, we have Indigo, which again are going to be searchable really easily. We also have the new Invoke monster, which is level 8, so we have ways to go into him pretty easily. We have number 60, again the whole purpose is to draw, hopefully get what you need to establish your board, and again OTK them, or in the position where, this is kind of funny, his secondary effect, Invoke Augudus, I don't know, the Invoke Fusion, I don't know what to call him. He can banish a fusion card in your graveyard, that's an Invoke monster. He gains the original attack, and then you can boost it up by this guy, and he becomes like a 10k beater if you give him a Kaba and an Alistair. It's a one-shot kill. It's really cool, actually. And again, just the whole point of him is either you're going to make a Boral Sword in game, you're going to go into an extra draw, hopefully to win, or if you're not winning, you're probably not going to win anyways, or to boost something's attack by double, so you can kill everything. So again, Purgatrio, attack, 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 you win. We're playing Calamities because it's not hard to make, 2 Makabas, that's why we're playing 3 of them. I took out Kaku because he's not consistent enough to make him. If you go back a couple of videos, there was an easy way to make Kaku with Calamities. You would just make Alistair, Almirage, Kaku Summon, make a Link Karibo, and it's a lot of plays for no reason, so we cut that out. Madness, kind of obvious Invoke deck, you want to play as many Invoke monsters as you can. He's an Invoke, and he's an Alistair in Graveyard and Field. Boral Sword, again, OTKs. You can make this Boral load if you really want to. I haven't made Boral Sword as of yet in this variant, because I usually just OTK without it. 1 Link Ross, another new monster, so you use your Alistair the Invoker of Madness to make Link Ross. So Link Ross will get summoned, and you make 2 tokens because Alistair's a Link 2. And that's kind of it. The tokens cannot be used for Link summoning, but they can be still used for fusion and every other play you want to. And Almirage because it's Invoke Almirage, right? Keeping it simple. Side deck, it depends on the meta, depends on what's going on. 3 Nibiru, gotta stop combo decks. Dark World and more combo decks. Twin Twister back row decks. This could be swapped out for anything else. Lightning Storm if you'd like. I don't really have Lightning Storm in real life, so I'm trying to make this as real life as I can. Again, minus the Edco things, which aren't exactly expensive cards. So these could be Lightning Storms, Twin Twisters, whatever you feel like you need. Again, you're going first, so maybe having a Lightning Storm might not be the best option, because I still feel like a lot of decks are still going to make you go for second. Sorry, you go first, because again, Invoke primarily usually wants to go second, so this, it might throw them off for a loop. Evenly matched for back row combo every other deck, honestly. Red Reboot for back row deck, and Solemn Judgments in case I know for a fact I'm going first. Set them, make sure you don't get Lightning Stormed. So, let's go ahead and get some games going. Alright, what we got here? Honestly, I can't really show off the power of the Exceed engine, but we can go ahead and show you guys a very basic engine with this. So, normal summon your Alistair, get yourself your Invocation, then you're gonna go into your Almirage. If you had the Parallel Exceed, this is where it would be Special Summon, and then you would just make the XC or rank 4. We're gonna go ahead and set the Invocation. We're gonna try to keep as many cards as we can in our hand. Special Summon the purple, banish him, so we can go ahead and add another card. We're gonna go ahead and add, we have a blue already, which is fine. We don't have an indigo, so let's go ahead and add, go ahead and add an indigo, that's fine. We don't really need yellow right now. I think blue and indigo are going to be more useful, so throw that down there. Go ahead and link this into a link 2, which is going to be Madness. From there, we're activating the Invocation, make ourselves a Makaba. Special summon the Macabre right there. This will trigger Madness's effect. It depends on what you want to throw out here. I would try to keep Cosmic as long as possible, so I'm going to go ahead and toss out the MEKK-KNIGHT. Again, another light in our graveyard, it's always good to have. Add another invocation. Make sure you recycle the invocation in your deck, in your graveyard, to get the Alistair back in your hand, and just like that you have a full hand kind of again. This is where most players would usually stop. You just set this and end it. Because we have Link Ross, we have two options. We can go ahead and make another Macabre right now. It's iffy, right? But let's go ahead and do that. Let's see, how can this work? We're gonna go ahead and activate Alistair in the hand to boost our Macabre by 1,000. The reason why is because we want Alistair banished and not in the graveyard, to recycle him again. So banish this and banish this. Go ahead and make yourself another Macabre. We're going to go ahead and use Madness's effect again. I feel like in this case I'm going to go ahead and throw out the Cyclone, because I want to have a monster in my hand to negate a monster effect if needed, right? If they have Nibiru, you're screwed right now, so keep that card as long as you can. Add invocation to hand, get rid of your Madness, make a Link Ross, use his effect, make yourself 2 tokens. Doesn't really matter where you put them. I like to keep Link Ross's zone open for some reason. Just a habit of like MEKK-KNIGHTS now because I play the deck. And in this case, this is where you can go ahead and make yourself a 3rd Macabre. I know, right? So you're going to be using one of the tokens that are light. You can use them for fusion, it's fine. So let's go ahead and make ourselves the 3rd Macabre. We have the trifecta, right? Beautiful, amazing. So we're going to go ahead and overlay for a Calamities. So honestly, this is where you kind of end the board because you can't do anything else in this case. So you would pass on your opponent's draw phase, activate this, call what they're gonna what you think they're gonna be using. Light is always a good option, dark is always a good option. A lot of cards that are light and dark activate in the hand. Dark, the only issue, if you activate dark, you might be susceptible to super poly, so be careful of that. So you want to try to avoid dark as much as possible because again, they can just swoop up all your monsters with a super poly, so call light or something, right? So there we go, that's your end board, and then when it's your turn again, we're going to go ahead and shuffle. Let's assume they just somehow, oh, they can't battle because of Calamities. So you draw for turn, your MEKK-KNIGHT comes back, I'll put him over here. You can recycle this, so put that back into the deck, add back the Alistair. And just like that, you have essentially a full board again, so activate this. Again, this is assuming they have no back row, they have no hand traps in this case. But we're going to go ahead and just play that, so add this to your hands, but you know, normal summon him, add invocation to hand. And then, because you can do whatever you want with this token now, what I would normally do is graveyard, graveyard, graveyard. That's a Link 4 right there, make a Boral Sword. Switch this into attack mode, call Nibiru or whatever you might want, so detach, call Nibiru, activate this, get rid of this, banish and banish, make your new shiny invoke monster, and just like that you have game. He'll activate, pop something on board, you can make the token attack mode, activate Boral Sword, make that defense mode, and you have full game. And that's honestly not a bad thing to have. It's a great turn 1 board, it's a great OTK board. Let me go ahead and see if I can get you guys a Parallel Exceed played in my hand. Okay, wow. So it only took like 1 or 2 resets really quickly. So you're only playing 3 Parallel Exceeds, they're not searchable. So this won't always come up, but it's pretty good, I would say. I've seen it 4 out of maybe, well, probably like 2 out of every 4 hands. Wow, it's a 50% shot, I'm stupid. I see it like 3 out of 5 times. Let's just go with that, right? So this is a really amazing board. If one of these were an invocation, it'd be 10 times better. But let's go ahead and just do the normal play. So this was essentially going to be like what you saw on the last one. Besides, like, we won't have the extra pluses from the MEKK-KNIGHTS, which kind of sucks. Again, it sucks to get this guy, but at the same time, it is what it is. So we're going to activate Parallel Exceed, special summon to a zone that the monster you just summoned points to. His effect will trigger. He will summon out the other Parallel Exceed in the deck. These two are now level 4s because they're summoned by their own effect. You overlay. It depends what you want to go into, right? Abyss Dweller or Dugaris. I feel like Abyss Dweller is actually fine in this case. Granted, we're going to be... No, it's fine. Because I don't think we're going to go for the calamities on this one. Oh, what just happened? We don't want that. Detach. I was trying to move him, not overlay. So we're going to go ahead and summon that back. That's my mistake. Move him over here. Okay, awesome. Set the invocation. Summon out the MEKK-KNIGHTS. Graveyard. Put him over here. Activate. It kind of goes into the same play that we just did at this point. Like I said, the only difference is if you get a parallel Exceed, your board is substantially better just because you have a Dweller now. So against Emancipators, against Eldritch, against Salad, against Orchid, like it just covers way too many decks to not really play. Madness will trigger. It's up to you if you want to activate it or not at this point. If you choose not to, you're going to have a Macabre with a monster negate. I'm trying to see what else we can do that might be optimal. So if we activate that, we have to get rid of one of these. But I think honestly having a Solemn Strike and an Impermanence is actually really good. I don't know if I would really want to overextend in that. Granted, we could have kept the Amirage, make the Macabre over here, keep these two in our hand, and pass with Let me try to think. What could we do that would be very optimal in this case? You know what, let's have fun. Let's go ahead and activate Alster's Effect, get rid of Impermanence. I feel like Solemn Strike would always be better anyways. So, Graveyard, add back the Invocation, well, add an Invocation. Put this back into the top of the deck. I could add an Alistair to hand. Cool. So, we can go ahead and actually activate Dweller right now, detach. Just for the sake of having a wind in our graveyard, right? Activate this. Get rid of this, and get rid of this, and go ahead and make a Raijin. It's a simple state. I'm not saying this is the most amazing hand. The only benefit is you have follow-up play, right? So you can set this right there. You have a follow-up play. On their draw phase, standby phase, main phase, whatever you want to do, you activate the Dweller. If you want to bait out the Impermanence, there you go. You have a Macabre negate for a monster effect. You have a Raijin to go ahead and book something. So if they normal summon, you can just book it before they really link into it. And you have a Solemn Strike in case of anything. And this is not an optimal hand, keep that in mind. We had essentially not the most ideal hand. The Parallel Exceed really makes the deck work. And again, this is off 5 cards. We're not talking about 6 with MEKK-KNIGHTS where you're going second. This is still a work in progress. I'm still making this work a bit better. If you have any suggestions, comments, or suggestions, let me know in the comments down below. I'm always willing to hear them out. And I hope you guys liked the video. I'm going to go ahead and post some more videos later on, show you guys some non-Parallel Exceed plays, but I think honestly going forward, this might be one of the better variants to play. I will also be having more videos showing my rounds in the SEMO tournament, going from like 1 through 11 or whatever I played, showing you guys what I did, what I could have done better, and the games I won and lost, and all that nonsense. So thank you guys for watching, hope you guys enjoyed, take care, see you later.